What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bree, and we're at the Gem Social Podcast, and we have Savannah Cristina in the building, y'all, all the way from Atlanta.
Yes.
But you home.
I am home.
What brought you home?
Just the holidays and family and everything like that. I wanted to get back into my roots. Yeah.
When I had asked you earlier, you did say it was very necessary.
Yeah.
Tell me. Why?
Just remembering where you're from. And I'm pretty good with that. I'm in Florida pretty often. Just going to the same corner stores and the same restaurants and seeing people just keeps you grounded, because where I live, somewhere like Atlanta, there's a lot of transplants. So you start to kind of get like this, it dilutes everybody's own personal culture, and we kind of just become what we're supposed to be there, as opposed to like when you come home and you reset, you got that special thing about you.
You know, it's interesting. I'm from Atlanta. You're from Florida. And a lot of people don't know that I'm from Atlanta, but because I grew up north. Yeah. But I do feel you. The Atlanta that I grew up with is not the Atlanta now. And I'm sure you could say the same about South Florida. But what part of South Florida are you from?
So I was born in Miami. And when I was about 6 years old, I moved to Broward County, Florida. Okay. So I rep Broward. I feel like Broward is a big part of who I am. Like kind of grew up near the swap shop, if you know where that is.
I know what that is. Yeah. And for our listeners, viewers, however you're watching the podcast, Broward County is very, very known for Fort Lauderdale, but there's many other cities. I actually just sold my house in Tamarack, which I guess zip code wise is still set Fort Lauderdale, but I'm a Broward girl for real. Like, I ain't gonna lie. When I had moved to Miami, I would say like a year into it, I was like, I need to try a different county. Like, and Broward did feel more at home. So I definitely feel that. And corner stores, like, I feel like us Northerners be like, wait, what do you mean corner stores?
Corner store. Like the corner store I grew up by, they sell, and I don't know if they do this anywhere else, but they sell sneakers, shirts. There's a whole little, if you know, you know. But there's a whole little shop in the back.
I like a little, if you know store, though. Yeah, you gotta keep it sacred sometimes.
I know, right? Yeah. That's not the type of store you put on TikTok. But yeah, it's right. It's just little nuanced stuff like that I feel like keeps me different. And I'm always just trying to be like the most me I can be. Ooh. So I try to make sure I come home and go to the places where I grew up.
I like that. I'm going to put a pin in the most me, and we're going to circle back to that, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know who you really are out behind the Instagram, behind the Wikipedia, behind the articles. Like, I think it's just so important to highlight artists for real, not just what y'all doing, but who are y'all? Yeah. So let's start with that. Let's start with who is Savannah Cristina? Yeah. For real.
Right. So obviously, like we know, I'm a singer and songwriter, spoken word poet. Spoken word poetry is how I got into music. That was my first introduction. I started doing slams at the age of, I believe I was 14. It was freshman year of high school. Just tried something new. I was dating a poet and I wanted to impress him. So I was like, I could do this too. And I ended up actually taking it, pretty far, doing national slams, stuff like that, published poet. Wow. So, I was a poet first. But in general, I'm, the daughter of two immigrants. My father is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My mother is Dominican. And, they met each other at the courthouse and they just started a family and here we are.
They met at the courthouse.
Yes. They both worked in legal.
Okay.
Child. I see. Not they was both on the run or something like that. But they both worked in in criminal justice.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Got it. Wow. See, I did not know you started off in spoken word. Yeah. And I think every time I'm a real big fan of somebody, because I said it in private, I'll say it here. I'm a big fan of Savannah. Like,
thank you.
Prior to self-care, like I was already a fan prior to that. Yeah. Because I remember the local shows. Like, so
what a time.
What a time, literally. So to know that you was doing spoken word. Yeah. How did that translate into you becoming a singer?
So as a spoken word poet, it really just taught me how to work my pen. The first time I ever went to a studio was actually at my local Boys and Girls Club. So I don't know if you know this, but some of the Boys and Girls Clubs, they got a grant to open studios within the facilities. So when I was a teenager, I would just like go in there and see my friends rapping, and they would ask me to sing a chorus, but I was really shy. And it really wasn't until I got to like college that I started releasing music on SoundCloud and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I had always known like about the studio and making music and things like that. It was an extension of the poetry. Yeah.
Whoa. Now, when I went to Boys and Girls Club, I got beef with Boys and Girls Club in Delaware because y'all did not have no recording studio. Like, and we needed it the most.
You know, it's a new program, and a lot of people don't know this, but like I'm a product. I mean, a lot of us are a product of the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
And so that was just something that they happened to have. I felt like it was divine because had they not had that studio and built that studio when I was there, I don't think I would be doing music. It really showed me like, oh, this is how you record. This is how you do this and do that. And make a song. It was important for my career.
Wow. I'm actually really impressed that they do that. And I feel like for me, I haven't seen that highlighted enough. Like, no. I don't think I really saw that highlighted enough. And I remember in some of our prior conversations, we're coming across these other places opening these studios. Like in Houston, where I live, they just opened up a recording studio, podcast studio, and a photo shoot studio in the library. Like,
that's crazy.
The library, the biblioteca.
I love that though. I love that though, because we're getting to a place where creating audio and creating songs, it's so accessible. Mm-hmm. And a lot of artists are intimidated by that. But really, if you just get in front of it, you'll be able to profit from it. You know, everybody should be able to make and create. Yep. And the fact that it's in something like the library, I think that's going to happen more. That's awesome.
And I'll even add some more to that. I feel like the artists that are so scared of it, then invest in it. If you feel like you're not going to profit from it, but that's another conversation. We hear our art battles with y'all, so y'all should be learning about investing into art. And art doesn't have to just be graffiti and a portrait. Like, art is what we're talking about right now. It's
facilitating other people's creativity. That's for me, for the people that I've known that have really made a living in this industry, are facilitators. They are the people who own the art galleries, own the spaces, own the podcast rooms, own the studios, engineer, right? A lot of my friends are engineers, and they're always going to have a job. It doesn't matter if they get a Grammy or not. They're always going to be good. And yeah, that's something that I'm aware of. And it's just welcoming the idea that you're not the only one with a song. You're not the only one with a dream. So help other people go for what they want to do.
I love that. And I'm big on ownership. The first time I ever met Savannah was a couple years ago at a spa. And that was actually the first thing we talked about. Yeah. We didn't even talk about me being a DJ and you being a singer. It was, I actually didn't even recognize who you were at that day. Which I love that. But I love that. I love that it wasn't about that. Like, I love that even though it was like a little influencer party at the spa, we all really just got to tap into what we're about and stuff. And I thought that was beautiful. And the first thing we talked about was home ownership. Yeah. So, and I think a lot of artists don't believe that they can even buy homes when they're starting out and stuff. So what did that end up looking like for you? Did you go through with it?
Of course. Yes. Okay. Bought my house.
Congratulations.
Beautiful home. Mm-hmm. Didn't post about it because I just felt like, I mean, I will one day, but I just really wanted to do that for me. Yeah. But yeah, bought a house that I knew though that was what I was going to do from the second that I felt like I could. Yeah. You know, I'm not the girl that's going to have the newest fashions. I'm just not. I didn't grow up with that. I actually grew up experiencing a lot of hardship. And so when I was able to, I knew that a house is what I needed. Yeah. Something stable, something to just invest in. And even if I'm, do so decide to treat it as an Airbnb or whatever the case may be, which I don't think I would do. But, even if I wasn't living there, I still needed to do that for myself. Right. Yeah.
I like that. Did you end up buying a home here in Florida, or did you buy a home in Georgia?
I wanted to, but yeah, I will say no. What it is just, and I feel really bad for people that are buying at this time, but there's a lot of damage that happens in homes, and a lot of these sellers want you to buy and fix. And at the age of 25, I just wasn't trying to do none of that. So I got something that was big and functional and beautiful and safe.
And that is all that matters. Because let me tell you, I bought the as is home and I just sold that thing and Whew.
Yeah, they want you to do there's all kind of termites, all kind of mold, all kind of stuff that I wasn't trying to do. And once you buy it, that's it. You got to be the one to upkeep it.
Yes.
And, my parents taught me a lot about home ownership because that was the first thing they did when they were able to was buy a home. And so, I just was able to see that, how that all played out. So they showed me it's a lot of responsibility.
It is super important to see what ownership looked like as a kid or even as a teenager, because I do agree. We did live in a few homes, but I did see both my parents, even though they split up, they did both own homes, and they pushed that on me. And same story, different outcome. I was 25 when I bought my first home. Actually, I was 24. I was like a week before my birthday, but whatever, 24, 25 when I bought my first home. And yeah, the as is stuff, it did spark my creativity, though. I will say that you set a budget, you try to work things in, fix this, fix that. But like, I do agree. The houses that I own in Houston, I for sure was happy that they just came turnkey, new construction, big, like, and can rent out one side, live on the other. Like, I invested in duplexes, but that's so important.
I love that.
Like, that's a big thing right now.
I love that.
That's a big thing.
That's a different conversation. But it's important to just invest. And even if it's like you said, you bought and sold, even if it's not something that you keep, it shows you what you can do and what you're capable of. A lot of times when you're creative, people don't want you to have stuff. They want you to be a starving artist forever. They don't even want you to have a job. They want you to be unbalanced and disgruntled and unstable so that you can be susceptible to whatever anybody throws at you. And one thing that I really have always been wanting and always fighting for is stability. I never want to be the girl that is at the whim of, because there's a lot of crazy people in this industry. So I always want to stand on my own too. That's why I'm big on family. Like, nah, you ain't finna, look, I got my family behind me. It don't matter how dysfunctional we may be. I always stay in contact with community because it's crazy out here, and you have to be stable mentally and in every other realm, stable, because you get tested. You get tested.
Every day. I get tested in my own industry as a Black tech founder, so I can only imagine being an artist. And I know you dove into a little bit of how you're maintaining your boundaries, it looks like.
For sure.
But let's dig a little deeper into that, because I know a lot of people watching the podcast, well, when they do watch it, they're going to go through the same thing, if not already. I do think that there's a struggle between going fully into your artistry, but also choosing the starving artist. But what did that look like that for you? Were you a starving artist when you went full time into it?
I was in college, so I was starving. I was already starving. It's like I'd made a lot of sacrifices. I didn't get to do a lot of things, like just things that maybe my friends could have paid for or bought. I wasn't able, because I was investing in like studio time, or just investing in photo shoots, or just investing my energy into other things. And so, like, I would never say starving artist. There was always something to eat. I never want to, play it like that. But no, there was definitely times where I was not great,
I appreciate you saying that, because I feel like when you do, even if it's not full time, by the way, guys, because I feel like people still battle with that.
Let me just say, I worked at Cheesecake Factory,
boom,
T-Mobile. I worked at Global Response, which is a call center. That was my first like real 9-to-5, paid very well. I've had a lot of jobs,
right?
So also bear in mind, like, even when I started doing music full time, I still didn't quit my job, because and I got my bachelor's like a few months after Self-Care was released. So like I said, I'm just big on stability, and that's a conversation that needs to be had, because I do think a lot of people think that they can't have a day job when they're doing music, and you absolutely can. You can have multiple streams of income while you're making music, and you will have to, because if you don't, like I said, you never want to be at the whim of these people out here waving stuff in your face and just taking anything that comes your way. So you have to be very stable. So I always kept me a job. I've been working since I was 15.
I'm glad that you're advocating for stability.
Yeah.
In this economy, I would hope that people are advocating for that, but they're not. But artists like you who are saying it, I think that that's adding some affirmations, especially going to the new year, that, hey, I can work on my time management, it sounds like, because you have
time.
oof, I be telling people, y'all have time, y'all just don't want to create it. Or
no, seriously, I think people want to quit too fast, or they just think they see stuff and they want to. I was literally I visited an old studio yesterday or the day before yesterday that I used to work at. I'm talking to my old engineer. He's like, yo, I got a girl coming in here. She want to be just like you, man. Like, she love your stuff. And I'm like, I tell him, like, you see people online, but you don't know what they had to go through to get to where they're at. I wouldn't recommend anybody taking the path that I took on how I made so many mistakes.
Yeah.
I was in so many dangerous situations that only God got me through. And so I say all that to say, when you are seeing other creators online and maybe you're saying, oh, well, they don't work a day job, so I don't want to work a day job. It's like,
how do you even know?
How do you even know? Because I'll tell you right now, a lot of my friends have amazing remote jobs that you'll never know. You'll never know. But on top of how do you even know, it's also like, that ain't none of your business.
Boom. Because
that
we
ain't
need to get into
business.
that. Y'all need to stop running y'all mouths online. Y'all telling on yourselves. No, like, because that part, because I respect your privacy. You make people respect your privacy.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious, because even getting into these questions, I wouldn't have known these things, and that's fine, because it really was none of my business until today. Because,
No, you're so funny.
But still.
But no, and it's also just, when you compare yourself to other people, what they're doing ain't none of your business.
It's not.
Like, it's not a part of your journey. It's not your walk. They're on their own walk, and you have to go through, your own. So everybody's journey is going to look different.
Right.
My journey is unique. And yeah.
I love that. I love that it's unique, but I also love that there might be someone else doing the same thing that's hearing this and like, whew, okay. Yeah. This is fine, because I knew that probably was an issue in the music industry. It's also even an issue in the tech industry. People give up, or give up their jobs. To clarify, to start raising money.
Why would you give up a job in tech? I mean, unless you're 100% sure. You know what I'm saying?
Because investors, which is like, think about, for us, our investors are like labels for y'all,
right? That's your label, right?
So they want to push, you need to be in the mud 40 hours a week. Okay, if you want 40 hours a week, I can give you 40 hours a week, but I still can maintain other things to bring. I
advocate lying as well. Like, you don't always have to tell the investor that you got a side hustle. I just seen that on Shark Tank. Stop telling people. You ain't got to tell them that you got some money coming in from this and that.
Exactly. Exactly. For me, it was actually easy to just say, I make money from my real estate, because I'm like, that's all y'all need to know. Yeah. Like, and there still is work going into real estate, but it's funny how they don't pressure me on that, but they'll pressure you on the desk job, or the being a server, or doing this and doing that. So I do advocate for just not saying anything. Yeah. Because they're actually really not even asking you anymore. They're just telling you, you can't do this, blah, blah. Just like, okay. Because who's going to know?
Bring back lying, bro. Bring back mystique. But yeah.
Bring back mystery and privacy. We are certified yappers, but I noticed that people just tell everything. And again, to each their own, but I do feel like I see too many singers, DJs, rappers, tech enthusiasts, producers, podcasters that just tell themselves, and I'm like, why'd you do all of that?
Yeah. And there's being transparent, which is, transparency is important. But just safety is such a big thing now. It's something that it goes on a lot, and people are watching. There's more of a scope, and not everybody that's watching is necessarily watching in order to be inspired. They may be watching to see what's going on. Where are you? What's happening? So I'm very intentional about that. And as a young woman in this industry, just keeping certain things private for me has just kept me safe. And it's my thing.
I know you said you went through some danger. I know you've went through some hard times in the music industry, and we don't need to get deep into those things, but I do want to go back into the time that you went viral. Yeah. What was that like? What did that feel like when your song went viral?
So the good thing about the time that it went viral is that it went viral in a time where people weren't going viral. Like, now I go viral all the time now, but it's like, so does everybody else. So it's important and it's great going viral is awesome, but it meant something different then than it does now. When I hit 1 million views now, it's like, it's amazing still.
Yeah.
But we're on a different algorithm now. So I think it was very powerful. I'm very grateful that it happened on the precipice of like right before the TikTok, right before those other things, because
that's right.
It just held a different standard.
Yes.
But how did I feel? I felt really happy that what I was being recognized for, something like a Self-Care, like a Rebound, even like a Soul Ties, these songs that have made their rounds, were things that I believed in and things that I wrote. I was always very worried to be known for something that I didn't want to be, right? Like being known and I was like doing something foolish or doing something that didn't align with my true beliefs. So when that happened, I was very excited that more people wanted to hear about self-love and self-care. They wanted to hear about relationships and hardships and heartbreak. Like I was like, oh wow, this is what I want to do. I'm so glad I didn't have to, you know, I don't want to knock nobody else's methods, but I'm glad I got to do it my way.
Your way.
My way. So yeah.
I love that. All 3 of those songs also got me through my breakups. So
love that
absolutely love
That's
that.
what I'm here for.
I think what I loved the most about it was just hearing a story, even if it was, to me, when I listen to songs, I never know if it's their story or somebody else's. There's been plenty of songs.
No, it'd be my story.
But I'm so glad that it is your story.
Yeah. You know, I date in private and then I divulge all the details in my songs in public. But, you know, like just dating and, you know, being outside. I was outside young. I started dating very young. Yeah. And dating older at a young age. So I just been through a lot. There are a lot of women that come to my shows that may even be in their 40s and 50s that will say, you're talking about some stuff that I'm learning now after my divorce, after this and after my kids. And so I am glad I was outside early. I think that's like a very typical thing being from South Florida. But yeah, no, they're definitely my life stories, you know, so I'm glad they were good for something.
I'm glad that they're your stories because like I said, like when Usher, for example, you know, for a long time, people felt like all of his songs was just about him and it was not. And I just went to his concert, so that's why I was thinking about him. But like when I was singing his confessions, I was like, damn, this is not even about you. I thought this was about you and Chili. So it's nice to know. I thought that was about him. Look, I thought so, but it was not.
That was excellent marketing.
It was excellent marketing. It was excellent storytelling. That's why I was like, wow, he got us with the story. Yeah. And I keep telling people, like, I feel like storytelling is really, really coming back in a different way. And one thing that I like when I watch your stories, when I look at your posts, like I see that you're still telling your story in different ways. Yeah. So from that point in life, when you went viral to now, do you feel like your story has changed a lot?
Yeah, I think that my frontal lobe has developed and I feel smarter. Yeah. I feel stronger. I just feel like who I've always wanted to be. Like I feel that. And so one of the things when we're talking about just being able to talk online and things like that, I noticed that having a great song is very important. But having a strong personal brand is very, 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 very important. Yeah. So being able to now really tap into, okay, who is Savannah? And like just seeing them seeing myself in different facets was important for me because my story is important. But like, I don't just want to make music. I want to do TED Talks. You know, really? I want to do motivational speeches. I want to write books. And so it's important that I explore all of those things because I have a lot to give. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel great. I definitely have learned a lot. Not to say I don't make mistakes. I mess up every day.
We all make mistakes.
I'm a lot stronger. I advocate for myself more. I would say when I first started getting into the creative industry, I kind of just was like, you know, you meet somebody and it's like, oh, you know, this how I gotta be. And I would not ask questions, but I'd be like, no, why? Like, why I gotta be like that? You know, even I was just talking to a friend, like, even when you get a lawyer, asking your lawyer, no, I don't.
Push back.
I don't want to do that. Why I gotta be like that? And you just gotta sometimes get ignorant with people because if you don't advocate for you, you just get what's given and then you gotta deal with that. So I've just gotten very like, and so a lot of people have like really nice stories about me. If you ask anybody about me, oh, she's a really, really nice girl.
Right.
But there are people that will tell you like, damn, she was very assertive. And it's like, I like those stories too, because that means that I was in a situation where it was either you or me, and I chose myself. And I'm always proud to do that.
If I was spinning that right now, I would literally cut that back. Yes. No, I feel that. I have those same comments about myself. I'm very sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet. But
you know what? And it was too many she's really nice stories than I was comfortable with.
It was time to balance.
Because why y'all feel like I'm so nice?
Yes.
You know? And that was that people pleasing in me. And it got me nowhere. I mean, it got me far. But it didn't get me in a position of power. And, you know, I want to be in a position of power. So, you know, I like my villain stories.
I like that. Too. I like my villain stories.
They eat.
Too.
For real.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Branding, power. Let's get back to this branding part. I'm gonna ask, how many times, if you had to, have you felt like you had to be inauthentic? And if you didn't have to be inauthentic while building your personal brand, walk us through that.
There weren't a lot of times.
Okay, good.
There was not a lot of times. There's only one time that comes to mind. I was doing a music video, and this music video I was doing, it was a group effort. I usually just do stuff on my own. But, you know, I brought some other minds into it. And the other minds had decided that it would make the most sense for me to wear a wig.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a problem with wigs. I'm from Broward. Like, but I just felt like, no, my hair should be curly for this. No. Anyways, eventually the wig happened. When I say that wig was I'm talking about.
It wasn't it, boo.
The knots wasn't bleached. Everything was just terrible. And I know about wigs because I'm from Broward. And so
Broward's a wig place or something? Like, it's
I
like
feel
a wig
like
city?
Broward is a place.
I know Atlanta is.
I really feel, and we don't get our flowers, but Broward is a place where women really do it. Like, like these women do it. Like, I can't explain. Like,
I realized I was gay when I moved to Broward.
Look,
so I ain't even mad at it.
It's top tier women here. And they're all low key. They have like, they're not like on the scene. They're not, you know, millions of followers. They're just beautiful, real clean, hair's done, lashes done. Broward is just that subtle flex. So I know, point is that, yes, I'm a naturalista, but I know what a good wig looks like because I have some beautiful friends from here that always put me on game. So yeah, it was just looking crazy. Point of the matter is, the wig won. The wig was on my head. It was giving helmet. And it looked crazy in the video. And then it just taught me, like, don't listen to nobody. Because that felt inauthentic. When I did the wig, it felt, like I said, I like wigs. Right. No, but that wig at that time
needed to be in the garbage.
It never needed to.
It never needs to be on your head.
It's so funny because after I did the video, I had to get on a flight and go somewhere, and I wore the wig to the airport.
Wig done.
And this is when I knew. That's what I'm saying. Because the way people was looking at me at the airport.
Wig done got a video shoot. Wig done got travel miles. Wig done got a lot.
Wig was never supposed to be there. Just a stowaway in all these amazing situations. Like, shout out to that wig. But that's when I was like, you know what? You can never let anybody talk you into going against your intuition. Because you will look inauthentic. And maybe the wig looked crazy because we was not in one accord. You know, maybe if it was on one accord, the wig would. But I just never, ever want to let anybody tell me what I need to be doing and what this should be. Because I know what I need to do. Right. It's me and God. That's who I consult
first and
with.
Foremost.
Yeah, we talk, and then we can talk. But after we done talked and agreed on something, that's the end. You can't. So that was inauthentic for me. Right. Not doing that again.
When these situations occur where you're being challenged to be either authentic or hurt somebody's feelings, how do you go about that? Because it's normal. You know, some people are just passionate. They feel like my idea is going to be the one that gets you to the next level. And it could be a good idea in theory, but it doesn't fit your brand. How do you go about letting them know, no, this is not it?
Just saying that. Perfect. Just saying that. I think the more you try to negotiate with people and well, because I think, which is what I used to try to do. No, we're not doing that. And it's like that.
And that's it.
Nope, that's it. Even I have some engineers I'm friends with, and they'll, I'll record with them. Right. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't like that, you could have done it better. No, that's how it's supposed to be.
No is a complete sentence.
Yeah, because second you try to explain, you don't need to explain yourself to anybody. Talk. Yeah, like, and as far as people and their ideas, that's cool, but this is your journey. Right. I always say this to artists too. It's like, you might have a manager or this person or that person telling you something. At the end of the day, they can get a new artist tomorrow. Your brand is your brand forever. Right. Your face is on stuff. So it's about you. That you can't be disloyal to yourself trying to hear people out.
Did your brand, and let's take it back even prior to when self-care went viral. Yeah. Did you already have a manager prior to that?
I feel like I had people in my life that were supportive of me, that played different roles and wore different hats.
Right. And that was
according to the emails that I answered and the shows that I was at alone. Yeah. And the things that I did, I will say that I've always tried to learn how to manage myself. Okay. I'm appreciative of everybody that was around me. Right. But now that I know what's going on, I noticed that it's very easy to stand next to somebody who is self-motivated. Right. And it's very easy to say things when God is working. But I will never give other people credit for what God put into fruition, if that makes sense.
I love that. Yeah. I love that.
But I love everybody that was a part of my journey. I really appreciate. But now that I know how stuff's supposed to be, I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't supposed to be. And motherfuckers was just showing up and just hanging out and smoking weed. And I'm over here like running around. So I had a lot of people in my life that I'm grateful for. But
how are you delegating right now?
Long talks with myself.
Long talks.
And then time management. Like, okay, you're going to do this in the morning. Even my tours. Like all my tours are me, And
I don't think people know that. All of your tours.
I wish I had the time to tell them. But all my tours are me. My drive-in thing was organized by me. Even the concepts for self-care, rebound, all those things directed by me. And these are things that I don't just put out there because I just be like, y'all don't know that. But no, everything is me. I write my songs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I have to give myself that credit, and I'll never let somebody else take credit for that. Right. Because it's easy as a woman for somebody to make you think, well, girl, because that one time when you needed that water bottle and I passed you the water bottle before you got on stage.
Like, boy, fuck you. And it's
I give people their credit when they give me mine. And when people don't give me my credit, I start to say, okay.
Look. Because don't take too much credit.
Don't take too much credit.
No, because I can definitely say that when you blew up, all of a sudden, oh yeah, I knew Savannah. We had her at this place, and
and so and that's cool. And that's cool because anybody who's ever given me an opportunity, because a lot of people did, and I love them, right? You know what I mean? But it's just a matter of sometimes we don't allow the women to really get the full credit for what they've done, exactly. And it's not even about me because I'm always advocate, but you guys are not letting these other girls see that they can do it too.
That's my
point. You making these other girls think that they got to go through you, and they don't.
And that was my thing. Because when they would say that, it would come across. It's one thing, you could tell when someone's laid back and saying, oh my God, I'm so proud of her. I remember her at this show, and now look at her, whatever. It's another thing when it's like, oh yeah, we put her on. That's a different story.
I mean, I think if you have a good product, it's going to be like that. I would be afraid if nobody was talking like that. I would feel like I wasn't doing my big one if you don't wake up in the morning and feel like you had something to do with it. Right. Everybody wants to be attached to something great. You look at these athletes that played in, where he used to play at, and we remember when he used to throw the ball around. Yep. That's pride. That's what we do. That's okay. I'm cool with that. Right. But it's important to show other artists, hey, you can plan your own tours. Yes. You can, And also for them to know, hey, you might like maybe who this artist was affiliated with, but hey, let me put you on game. These are dangerous ways and these are dangerous places to be. You may want to skip that part. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just a way to kind of frame things so that we're realistic about stuff. You don't always have to go through a third party. There are amazing apps like BandLab where you can record an entire song. There are ways, after a while, if you spend enough money at the studio, you might as well just build one in your closet. It's just that message of figuring it out. And the truth of the matter is, if you follow me, and you've been to my shows, you can see
Yeah.
that it's just me. So, you know, I don't feel the need to always say, hey, it was me that did it.
Right.
That's the point. And anybody who wants to feel attached to it,
right,
by all means, like,
I love
do that. But we have to give the artist credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And guess what? When it's a man, they do that. So that's the only reason why I stand on business, because there were other men that also were in the same facilities as me that were doing their thing and also doing it on their own. And they get that credit.
They do.
So as a woman, I was also setting up my events, doing things, running back and forth, driving here, paying for this. So let's talk to me like that. Like a businesswoman and like somebody who knows how to get things done.
Ooh.
So that's why I advocate, because I know that it's also rooted in like a man always kind of wanting to like, oh, I own this woman. And it's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
I'm God's child. God made this happen. And I will never say anything different. It wasn't even me.
During the super rough times, did you ever want to give up?
Yeah, I be wanting to give up every day. Oh my God, I'd be like, I have my bachelor's. Like, even though that means nothing now. But I don't feel that way so much because I understand what art is now.
Yeah.
Art is a privilege. I'm privileged to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is for me, my healing, and my fan base.
Right.
And my only objective, my only responsibility is to put out amazing art. So...
And you're doing that.
There's no giving up on what you are.
Right.
I just am this. I'm an artist. And yeah.
Do you feel like at any point, maybe instead of giving up, you give yourself a necessary break?
I was just looking at flights to Thailand. So that's something that I'm thinking about. I think breaks are necessary. I think times of separation are necessary. And also just rebranding and new approaches.
Yeah.
So sometimes breaks are just like, okay, we need to find a different method, you know, like
and have you done that already? Have you taken the break and
came back stronger? That's what I'm doing now.
That's good.
I feel like that's what I'm doing now, is actually taking a break. I feel like I haven't posted in a few weeks. I'm like, okay, bitch.
That's good. But when in the recent posts I have seen that you're building even more community locally now.
Yeah,
Tell us about what you're doing with that.
You know, so recently we did a photo shoot, me and my friend Shakeem Koda, he owns Cultivations in Atlanta, and we did a free photo shoot for entrepreneurs in the city for National Entrepreneur Day.
Wow.
Just doing stuff like that is important, and that's always kind of been the type of time that I was on. Like I was a Boys and Girls Club kid. Yep. So, and my parents did a lot for social justice, as far as like, I grew up watching my parents do like charity work, and not because they were rich, because they weren't, but just because they had the luxury of like having a Saturday off where they can go help, you know, Habitat for Humanity. They're into that stuff. So now that I'm getting older, just remembering what they did, I want to give back as well, because not because I just got all this, but I have the luxury of time and the luxury of thinking and a passion. So yeah, for sure.
I love that. The giving back factor is big. I definitely see it often. And whether it's how you've monetized over the past years or how you've leveled up. But I love that throughout this whole conversation, beyond a singer, you really are a business woman. Like,
yeah, I think so. I didn't know it came with the gig. I didn't know it came with the gig.
The hustle sold separately. So you really... It was in you, not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it kind of just, I just woke up one day and was like, oh, wait, this is what's happening. It happened fast. Just knowing how to handle business, handle decisions, and also like not taking stuff personal. Right. Because a lot of times, like one thing I think this will show you is like how people act on Mad Day. Right. Like everything be cool. And then you really see like, oh, okay, this is a business. This is not personal. Right. And then you just stop taking stuff personal. And then you start being more empathetic. Like, oh, shit. Like, damn, everybody got bills. Everybody trying to figure their life out. Everybody has pressure. Everybody going through a breakup. So you start to just kind of be a little bit like, what do you call that?
I guess,
like that. So, yeah, I mean, I became a businesswoman, but my heart is in the art. And I'm not like somebody who wants to like girl boss to the sun. Like if it happens, it happens. But it is something that I had to learn how to do quickly.
I like that. And I can totally understand the monotone thing. I have calmed down a lot over the past year, forcefully, I see.
I love that for
So,
you. Because it's not personal.
it isn't.
It's not.
And I used to take things so personal.
It's
So
not.
once I realized it really isn't personal, and also like a lot of people in this world are really honestly they just don't know any better.
They don't know any better.
So the
And
ones who
leave it at
do,
that.
it's like, oh, all right, you don't know any better. So let me
Seriously.
exit stage left.
Yes. And sometimes people are, yes, exactly. People are just, I don't want to use that word, but they don't know.
They're ignorant. I'm just going to say they're ignorant.
They're ignorant
That's really
and they don't know.
means.
And they will they will literally, what's that quote? Somebody will burn a village down in order to feel its warmth.
Yep.
Like, it's like, you just have to, and people like that, you just kind of have to like gracefully, okay, all right. Yeah. Just get farther and farther.
That is not safe.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is y'all friends. So y'all better be careful.
Well, do you work with friends?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
I have had numerous people because
Your face.
want to work with Gem. It always seems like this exciting company because for creators. So the first thing they think is, oh, I'm a creator and I'm going to help. And there's a lot of behind the scenes with Gem. Like, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't be going to sleep to 10 sometimes. Yeah. Like, talking to developers 4 to 8, going to my office, working with the interns, like doing all kinds of stuff. So then the partnership side, getting connections with people like yourself, like that is also all me. I'm just now establishing the team because I just got our investors, which shout out to multiple investors. Thank you guys for believing in Gem. But overall, like when I started hiring, no, I told all my friends I saw their resumes, I'm sorry.
Not because of the resume.
No, when I got their resumes. Okay. Like, well, some of them, yes. But also some of them is just like, I'm not hiring you off the strength of we're friends. And we just need to stay there. Friends. And I know I'm not the only opportunity out here. So you're not probably going to like me as much as a boss versus your friend because I'm not that sweet, bubbly person. I have to.
It's a whole different mode.
It's a whole different. I'm almost unrecognizable.
Your life is on the line.
Yes.
That's what people don't understand.
Yes.
Like, this is your life. This is somebody else's job, and this is your full-time life's passion. So I totally get that.
Absolutely. So I don't. But do you? Do you work with friends?
I feel like I have the same answer you have.
Yeah.
And then I'll just leave it at that.
But but maybe because I know there's so many different sides to artistry. Have you worked with friends on songs though? Like features of that sort?
I feel like I've worked with people that became friends after.
Okay.
Like, I'm very grateful for the, like, I was in Georgia and one of the guys from Florida, he said, you work with Iceberg? And I said, what you know about Iceberg?
Right.
Like, very, like, I'm grateful for those things.
Right.
Bushy B, me and Bushy only really talk if we're doing music stuff, and I probably met him like a few times, but I love working with him. I would consider those people to be like people that are friends. I have a song with Major 9, I have a song with 12 Lin.
Yep.
So I appreciate those people, but they're like work friends and they're great people,
right?
And but as far as like somebody like a personal friend that from my life that was like, Stav, I need a feature, I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't do that unless the song was just.
Can you tell me why?
Because I just don't like doing features.
Oh, okay. You don't like doing you don't like featuring on other people's songs.
I don't like. I really don't like doing.
And what about on your songs?
So it hasn't come up yet where I've needed a feature.
That's awesome.
I do want to work with people one day maybe, but it'd be my story to tell.
You know what? I realized, you don't have a lot of features on your songs.
No, because making a song is like making a baby.
Ooh.
You're locked in for life with whoever you decided to do that with.
That's true.
And you just
Is that because of also like the splits that go in the behind the scenes?
I swear to you, it don't really be that. It's really energy for me. It's not like, the splits. And I was like,
oh no, it's because my art is out here with you.
It's just like, what if I don't like this song later? What if I hate how this song sounds later? I like to be able to just say, delete. Now I got to talk to you and ask you. What if this doesn't align with me later? I'm always growing. I'm always evolving. So it's like, now this is frozen in time.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. I can understand that to a certain degree. I mean, of course, like I'm in the app world, so like we don't obviously feature each other's apps or something of that sort. But partnerships.
Like imagine, you know, like you couldn't edit a certain portion of your app because it was.
No, it's the partnerships. It's like we're partnered with HealthBird, and they are literally on our app. Their platform exists in our app. So I can understand that because I can't and have turned down partnerships that just don't align with one, me, and two, the app. So, and I take it all the way there because people are like, oh, well, it shouldn't align with you. Yes, it should, because my story started this app.
Yeah.
And my story is going to be the same one that eventually gets sold with this app. So
and if things don't go right, it's your name on the line.
Right.
And
nobody else's.
Yeah, people
mine.
Don't understand that.
I love that. As we were wrapping up, we are a month away from 2025. Can you believe that? Ugh.
No, I can't.
The year flew by, but you know what? I'm actually fine with that. What can we expect from you in 2025?
What can you expect from me? More music. I have something finished that I like a lot. You can expect me traveling more. Expect me in the gym.
Period.
Yeah, just
I see you in the gym, girl.
Yeah, child. Just expect me doing me, like living my life as an example of what I'm trying to influence.
I love that. I'm excited to see what 2025 is giving. I know a little bit of stuff, but we're gonna let that sit.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely excited for what 2025 looks like. I do want to thank you for coming on to our podcast for Gem Social.
Yes.
Gem Social is truly for artists like how you started, you know, for the early artists that come on board and learning how to start their business, getting new clients, getting new bookings, etc. This week alone, our platform has had over 150 bookings for artists and performers and singers and photographers. And it's only going to go up. It's only going to go up. So I truly appreciate that you really came and funny that you're here. And the next week I'm in Atlanta. I just got booked to speak in Atlanta.
Oh,
so,
let me know.
Yeah, so we might have to grab lunch
or
something.
Pull up. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be a judge at a summit. So
that's freaking amazing. I'm so happy for you.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Alignment.
That's so
happened right before my flight. So anyways, where can we find you at for those who are just learning about yourself?
If you're just learning about me, you can find me at Savannah.Cristina or Savannah Cristina anywhere. Savannah, like Georgia, Cristina, no H. And yeah, I'm just everywhere doing things.
She really is everywhere, y'all, for real. Yeah. Make sure y'all stream her music, buy her. You have merch, right?
I do have merch.
Yes.
I do have self-care hoodies.
We'll make sure that the website is right in this area for the editor. But make sure you buy her merch, buy her music, buy from the artist. That's one day we're gonna have to dive into that, buying more from the artist.
Yeah,
truly, that's a whole different section that I'm starting to see online. So we'll have to tap into that on a part 2.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch y'all later.